Have you ever wondered if you're truly in control of your decisions, or are your choices predetermined by forces beyond your understanding? Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating debate surrounding free will. We'll explore scientific experiments, philosophical arguments, and delve into the implications of both sides of the coin. Get ready to question your reality, not in a creepy way, as we explore the science of choice. Let's rewind time to the 1980s and meet a neuroscientist named Benjamin Libet. He designed a clever experiment that threw a wrench into our understanding of free will. Here's how it worked. Volunteers with electrodes. Imagine volunteers strapped into comfy chairs with electrodes attached to their scalps. These electrodes weren't shocking them, don't worry. They were measuring brain activity. The readiness potential. As the volunteers sat there, the researchers noticed a fascinating thing. About half a second before a volunteer consciously decided to move their wrist, a specific brain signal emerged. They called this the readiness potential. It was like the brain was preparing to make a move before the person even knew they wanted to. The creepy part, the truly mind-bending twist, came next. The volunteers were also asked to report the exact moment they felt the urge to move their wrist. Shockingly, in most cases, this conscious awareness of wanting to move their wrist happened after the readiness potential kicked in. Libet's experiment suggested our brains might be making decisions on a subconscious level before we're even consciously aware of them. This sparked a firestorm of debate in the world of science and philosophy. Did it mean we have no free will? Let's explore further. Hold on, the plot thickens. Our brains aren't like pre-programmed computers. They're constantly rewiring themselves in a process called neuroplasticity. Imagine a jungle gym. Every time you learn a new skill, experience an emotion, or even take a new route to work, the connections between your brain cells, like the bars on the jungle gym, strengthen. These strengthened connections make it easier to repeat those actions in the future. Basically, our experiences literally reshape our brains. Think of it like carving paths through a forest. The more you walk a certain path, the easier it becomes to follow it again. So, if you constantly practice making healthy choices, the neural pathways for those choices become stronger, making it easier to choose them again in the future. Narrator. This concept of neuroplasticity challenges the idea of completely predetermined choices. Our brains are constantly influenced by our experiences, which in turn can influence how we approach future decisions. It's not a complete blank slate, but it's not a rigid script either. Nature versus nurture, the age-old debate. While experiences shape our brains, our genes might also play a role in our behavior and decision-making. The blueprint of life. DNA is like the instruction manual for our bodies. It contains genes that code for everything from eye color to how our brains function. Genes and predispositions. Scientists have identified genes linked to certain personality traits, like risk-taking behavior or a tendency towards anxiety. These genes might not dictate our exact choices, but they could create a predisposition to behave in certain ways. Not set in stone, it's important to remember that genes aren't like a destiny script. The environment interacts with our genes, influencing how they're expressed. So, even if you have a gene linked to a certain behavior, it doesn't guarantee you'll exhibit it. The influence of genes on decision-making is a complex and ongoing area of research. While they might create a foundation for our behavior, it's likely a combination of genes, environment, and our own conscious choices that ultimately shape who we are and the decisions we make.